Hello everybody and welcome back to a Fast Fact series. I'm Ted, your host, and for this Fast Fact we're going to discuss the Etruscans. Now the Etruscans were the dominant power in Italy before the rise of Rome. At around 750 BCE, when Rome was at the traditional founding date, the mythological founding date I should say, for the city of Rome, around that time Rome was just a tiny village of thatched huts, one of hundreds of settlements in Italy. And at that point, the Etruscans were already an expansionist power in northern Italy. The Etruscans exercised hegemonic control over the Italic peoples, and they ruled the Romans as overlords. Now, the Romans viewed always sources indicate that the Romans viewed them as outsiders, and the experience of Etruscan rule left very deep scars on the Roman elite, and it really fostered a disdain for any for outsiders holding power or authority in Italy. It also inspired a paranoia regarding the influence of foreigners in Rome. Now, the Etruscans are a bit of a mystery to us. We do not know of their origins. We do not have any great epics of their founding or really any narratives of their history that survive to us. Any epics or writings of their own history in their own language, or even of their own accounts. All of our accounts of the Etruscans comes from the Romans. We only know from the writings of their adversaries and a few archaeological sites. Those are the only sort of clues or insights into Etruscan civilization and Etruscan culture that we know of. And two of the most important Etruscan cities were Chivari and Tarquinii. Always a bit tricky landing for me with those Latin endings, the double I's. And there are, in those two cities, we find very few buildings, but we do find many subterranean tombs, which are covered with paintings. Now, the Romans will go on to copy many of the Etruscan models, particularly their model of government, social models. The toga is one example, and the toga was a public symbol that marked a Roman citizen from everybody else. It was also something that marked members of the Etruscan League from all the other Italic peoples. The Romans will go on to take the toga as a very public symbol, and as a matter of fact, the Romans often referred to themselves as the togated peoples, or the people of the toga. Now, the toga, wasn't the only thing that was taken from the Etruscans by the Romans. Gladiator games were also taken from the Etruscans, and the Etruscans held the competition, these gladiatorial games, as funerary rites, as part of the funerary rites for dead leaders. Now, the Etruscans, the Etruscan style of temple was also copied by the Romans, as was the practice of using animal organs or entrails to divine the future. We'll end our fast fact here. As I said, we don't know very much about the Etruscans. They still remain a mystery, but we do know that they influenced the Romans in those areas. As always, hit like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you thought about this fast fact. And as always, I'm Ted, and I'll see you guys next time to give you another fast fact.